Humans obeyed us faster after we broke their chains. That sentence still poisons my memory. It should not exist. No intelligent species becomes more dangerous after surrender. Every known law of civilization rejects it. Yet I watched it happen. I am Senior Compliance Overseer Varek of the 10th Expansion Fleet. My purpose was simple. Measure productivity. Punish resistance. Increase output. Nothing more. We conquered the human mining colony in less than 6 hours. Orbit fell first. Power stations followed. Their defense ships burned quietly. No glorious final stand. No desperate charge. Just silence. Our commanders celebrated. I agreed with them. Humans looked disappointingly ordinary. Too small. Too soft. Too emotional. Every record described them as stubborn mammals with unusual endurance. Endurance meant nothing. Every species breaks. Some simply require more pressure. That was our science. That was our certainty. The colony rested beneath a gray sky. Dust storms erased the horizon. Massive extraction towers climbed into the clouds. Thousands of humans worked the mineral fields before we arrived. Now they work for us. Nothing changed. Or so I believed. We removed every weapon, destroyed every transmitter, confiscated every vehicle, separated families, assigned labor groups by efficiency, standard occupation protocol. No species had ever defeated it. The humans accepted every order. No riots, no screaming, no attacks. Many even thanked our guards for extra water. That confused me. I concluded humans possessed unusually weak survival instincts. It was the only logical explanation. One old female smiled at me every morning. Not once. Every morning. She never asked for freedom. She never begged. She only smiled. I recorded it as a neurological defense response. Primitive mammals often display irrational comfort behaviors. My report received approval. The first mistake belonged to me. The second belonged to everyone else. On the second day, productivity increased. Mining output exceeded pre-invasion levels. Impossible. Starving workers should weaken. Occupied populations should collapse. Humans worked harder. They volunteered for additional shifts. They repaired broken equipment without orders. They improved excavation routes. My officers celebrated another success. I did not. Something disturbed me. Their eyes never matched their smiles. They looked busy, not exhausted, busy, as if labor itself were only a distraction. I increased surveillance. Thousands of recordings. Nothing suspicious. Humans dug rock, moved cargo, fixed machinery, shared meals, laughed, always laughing. Even funerals included laughter. It felt offensive. One guard reported that prisoners sang while carrying ore. Another claimed children raced each other through toxic dust. Someone suggested humans lacked proper emotional development. Everyone agreed, including me. Then I found the numbers. Every broken tool disappeared. Every missing bolt. Every damaged wire. Every cracked circuit board. Individually meaningless. Together, thousands of components. Gone. No theft reports. No alarms. Nothing. I accused our logistics officers. They denied everything. I believed they were incompetent. That assumption nearly destroyed us. Day 3 began quietly. Too quietly. Human settlements woke before dawn. Workers lined up without commands. Perfect discipline. Perfect silence. No complaints. No hesitation. I almost admired it. Then I noticed something impossible. Everyone was exactly on time. Every worker. Every child. Every transport vehicle. Every machine. Perfect synchronization. Not military precision. Something stranger. Organic precision. Like a single organism. I searched for command signals. None existed. No radios. No encrypted frequencies. No visible leadership. Yet everyone somehow knew where to stand. When to move. When to stop. It violated every coordination model in our database. I concluded humans possessed remarkable instinctive herd behavior. Again, I was wrong. At midday, mining shaft 12 collapsed. 32 humans trapped. 4 guards killed. An accident. At least. That was my first report. Humans rushed toward the collapse. No panic. No confusion. They formed rescue teams instantly. No commander appeared. No orders were spoken. Everyone simply moved. Each person somehow knew exactly what to do. Some dug. Some carried supports. Some treated injuries. Others comforted children. Within minutes, they rescued every survivor. Our own emergency teams arrived too late to assist. My officers applauded human efficiency. I filed another report. Exceptional cooperative instincts. Useful labor species. I almost recommended expanding human acquisitions. That night, power failed. Only for 12 seconds. Backup generators activated immediately. Nothing serious. Or so we assumed. The engineers found no damage. Every system tested perfectly. No sabotage. No intrusion. Nothing. Still, I disliked those 12 seconds. The following morning, our supply inventory no longer matched reality. Food remained unchanged. Fuel remained unchanged. Weapons remained untouched. Yet construction materials continued disappearing. Not enough to trigger alarms. Enough to become statistically impossible. I ordered random inspections. Nothing. Storage facilities remained secure. Human barracks contained almost nothing. Simple beds. Simple clothing. Simple tools. Too simple. Where had everything gone? One child waved at me. She held a tiny sculpture. Made from scrap metal. Very detailed. Too detailed. The metal should have been inside our warehouse. I confiscated it. She smiled. Another smile. Always smiling. I destroyed the sculpture. She thanked me. I stared at her. No fear. No anger. Only gratitude. I concluded humans attached no emotional value to possessions. Another mistake. Later that day, I inspected the Western Quarry. A young human collapsed from exhaustion. A guard struck him. Hard. The worker apologized. Then stood up. He resumed carrying stone. I noted extraordinary pain tolerance. My scanner detected multiple fractures. He should have been unconscious. Instead, he finished the shift. That evening, I secretly watched the human medical tents. They had almost no medicine, almost no equipment, no advanced technology. Yet injured workers recovered impossibly fast. Not physically, mentally. Broken spirits simply did not stay broken. Every patient eventually laughed. Every family shared food. Every child listened to stories. Stories. Always stories. Hours of stories. I assumed primitive cultures relied on myths to escape suffering. Another wrong conclusion. I never understood they were exchanging something far more dangerous than hope. They were exchanging memory. Patterns. Ideas. Solutions. No transmitter could detect that. No sensor could measure it. On the third night, I finally entered one of their sleeping quarters. Quiet. Dark. Harmless. Dozens of humans rested together. Some pretended to sleep. I did not notice. One elderly man quietly carved symbols into a piece of wood. No words. Only lines. Circles. Tiny marks. Meaningless. I confiscated it. He apologized. Another apology. Always apologies. I burned the carving. He watched calmly. Then smiled. Again. I hated that smile. It suggested knowledge. Knowledge without fear. I left convinced humans possessed an unhealthy attachment to repetitive rituals. Hours later, I reviewed security footage one final time. Frame by frame. Nothing. 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 Then, one image. Less than a second. The old woman who smiled every morning walked past 6 separate labor teams. She never stopped. She never spoke. She only adjusted the sleeve on her left arm. Every team she passed changed direction exactly 4 minutes later. Not immediately. Exactly 4 minutes. Every time, no cameras captured any conversation. No signals. No devices. Only a tiny movement. A meaningless gesture. My blood turned cold for the first time in my career. Because I suddenly realized something impossible. We had conquered every human. But somehow, we had never found one giving the orders. I reported my discovery before sunrise. My commanders laughed. They promoted me for creative vigilance. Then they ignored every warning. According to doctrine, a conquered species always creates leaders first. Remove the leaders. The species collapses. That was history. That was mathematics. Humans refused both. I ordered every smiling elder detained. Nothing changed. I arrested foremen. Nothing changed. I imprisoned teachers. Nothing changed. Every human continued working. Every tunnel produced, or every machine, stayed operational. It looked like perfect obedience. I finally reached the only logical conclusion. Humans had no leadership. They were merely copying each other. An instinct. Like insects. I had never been more wrong. The first explosion happened beneath Processing Tower 4. Not large. Not dramatic. One support beam simply failed. The tower leaned. Operations stopped. Repair teams rushed in. Human workers volunteered first. I approved it. They repaired the tower in record time. 3 hours later, it collapsed anyway. This time onto our armored vehicles. An unfortunate engineering error. Or so I believed. Then Tower 9 failed. Then Tower 2. Each collapse looked accidental. Each collapse destroyed only our equipment. Never the humans. Probability screamed. My officers called it luck. I began losing sleep. By evening, our transport routes slowed. Cargo disappeared. Fuel vanished. Sensors malfunctioned. Nothing catastrophic. Everything irritating. Tiny failures. Thousands of them. Each one insignificant. Together, they strangled an empire. I searched for hidden factories. Found none. Hidden weapons. Found none. Secret communications. Nothing. Humans kept digging. Kept smiling. Kept apologizing. The pattern mocked me. Then our drones stopped recognizing faces. Software corruption. Temporary. That was the engineer's report. The drones classified humans as maintenance personnel. Every human. Children included. No alarms activated. They could walk anywhere. The engineers swore nobody touched the code. I believed him. Someone had done something worse. They had made the code touch itself. The realization came too late. The missing bolts. The broken wires. The cracked circuits. The little sculptures. The wooden carvings. The stories. None of them mattered alone. Together, they were instructions. Not written. Remembered. Passed from person to person. Hidden inside ordinary life. I still did not understand how. Only that it was happening. The first colony outside our sector went dark. No distress signal. Just silence. Then another. Then another. An entire mining moon ceased answering. Fleet Command blamed pirates. I blamed humans. No one listened. The rebellion officially began during breakfast. No speeches. No flags. No declaration. Every human simply stopped moving. Across the colony. At the exact same second. Thousands stood perfectly still. My guard shouted. No response. Weapons fired into the air. Nothing. The silence spread like disease. Then, every machine restarted by itself. Mining drills reversed. Cargo elevators locked. Factory doors sealed. Power grids rerouted. Atmosphere pumps switched priority. Not toward humans. Toward us. Our own systems had changed sides. Impossible. Those systems were isolated. No network connected them. No central intelligence existed. I ordered emergency shutdown. The command failed. Authorization denied. Denied. By my own clearance. Someone had rewritten the authority hierarchy. Not yesterday. Weeks earlier. While we believed they were repairing equipment. Every maintenance request. Every volunteer shift. Every helpful worker. Every smiling mechanic. Each one had changed one tiny piece. Nothing noticeable. Nothing dangerous. Until every tiny change connected. 3 days. Only 3 days. Our empire built occupations over centuries. Humans dismantled one in 72 hours. The prison doors opened. Not by force. By schedule. Someone had quietly rewritten maintenance calendars. Every lock believed today was inspection day. Every security turret identified prisoners as technicians. Every alarm reported normal conditions. The colony never attacked our defenses. Our defenses attacked themselves. I watched armored walkers surround headquarters. Not firing. Blocking escape. Their identification systems insisted they were escort vehicles. Inside each walker sat humans. Unarmed. Smiling. Always smiling. I finally heard real human words. A young engineer looked directly at me. We borrowed your system. Borrowed? The word made no sense. He continued. You built it. He almost sounded grateful. We only taught it different priorities. That sentence terrified me more than any weapon. Weapons destroy. Ideas recruit. Fleet Command finally authorized orbital bombardment. A sensible decision. Erase the colony. End the infection. Our cruisers aligned above the atmosphere. I almost relaxed. Humans could not stop orbital guns. Nothing could. Then every colony in the sector transmitted simultaneously. Not messages. Maintenance reports. Routine paperwork. Millions of harmless files. Every relay accepted them. Every server processed them. Every logistics station synchronized. The reports contained no virus. No malicious code. Only ordinary administrative updates. Exactly the kind our empire ignored every day. Hidden inside those updates. Instructions. Tiny changes. Again. One bolt. One wire. One permission. One schedule. One assumption. Entire star systems obeyed without noticing. Supply fleets changed destinations. Defense satellites entered diagnostic mode. Dockyards unlocked restricted sectors. Factories printed incorrect components. Navigation buoys transmitted altered coordinates. No explosions. No grand cyber attack. Only bureaucracy. Weaponized. I realized the rebellion had never started here. It had already spread. Every human labor colony had been preparing together. Without speaking. Without transmitting. Without leaders. I asked myself the question I should have asked on the first day. How? The answer stood before me. Families. Meals. Stories. Games. Songs. Work. Every ordinary interaction carried another tiny piece. No individual knew the whole design. Each human remembered only fragments. Enough to teach another. Enough to continue. No capture could stop it. No execution could erase it. Because the rebellion did not live inside commanders. It lived inside culture. I had searched for a brain. Humans had become a nervous system. Orbital Command gave the final order. Destroy the colony. The firing sequence began, then stopped. Not because humans hacked the fleet. Because the fleet refused. Half our crews were not human. But they had worked beside humans. Shared food. Shared repairs. Shared stories. We had assumed kindness created loyalty to us. Instead, it created loyalty to each other. One captain refused. Then another. Then another. Ships turned away. Entire squadrons abandoned formation. Not out of fear. Out of choice. That possibility had never existed in our doctrine. Our empire collapsed long before the first government admitted it. The humans simply arrived first to the ruins. I was captured without violence. No chains. No cage. No revenge. A child returned the little metal sculpture I had destroyed. I stared at it. It was not the same sculpture. She had rebuilt it. Better. She smiled again. Only then did I finally understand the pattern I had been too arrogant to see. I believe humans survived because they endured suffering. I believe they obeyed because they feared death. I believe they rebuilt because they forgot loss. Every belief was wrong. Humans survived because every broken thing became instructions for building something stronger. Even enemies. Especially enemies. Years later, I still study them. I understand their language now. Their engineering. Their history. Their wars. I understand every measurable fact. Yet one truth remains beyond me. They never conquered us with stronger weapons. They conquered us by making the impossible seem completely ordinary. And I still remember the sentence that should never have been true. Humans obeyed us faster after we broke their chains. And that was the day an empire discovered the most dangerous weapon in the galaxy was never a fleet, never a superweapon, but the human spirit. If you enjoyed this HFY story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more epic sci-fi adventures. Tell us in the comments. What would you have done if you were Overseer Varric? Until next time, remember, never mistake a human silence for surrender.